Morning everybody, welcome to Abdominal Armageddon.
Armageddon.
This is an old school Dave's gym class that we thought we'd resurrect for a bit of extra online content. As the name suggests, it is a core focused 7 to 10 minute annihilation. So you can do this workout in isolation, you can do it, tack it on to the end of your body weight or kettlebell workout, whatever you like. First of all, we're going to run through the techniques and the teaching points at the start of the video, and then we'll move straight into the workout at the end. I'll put a timestamp on the screen, so if you're watching this video for a second, third or fourth time, you can skip this bit and just get straight to the workout. Please make sure you check the drop down box underneath. I'll write all the workouts there, links to all of our places. Dave has a comment.
Okay, so one of the key things of this workout to make sure you're actually working your abs and not stressing your lower back is to make sure that you're in the right position, the right shape. So I'm going to get Zoe just to stand sideways at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to bring this down a bit
so you can see.
So even as Zoe sort of stood naturally here, there's a natural arch in her lower back. Okay, so and even a little bit higher. So sort of from bum coming up, if you could demonstrate that curve coming up, higher, there, okay?
And if I emphasise it by sticking my butt out, you can really
see a more pronounced curve. So that's got a term, it's called the lordotic curve, okay? And we need to flatten that out. So we're going to engage the glutes by pushing your bum forward and tight, and we're going to bring the ribs down, okay? So that's ribs up, and we want ribs down, okay? Ribs down and bum tight. And that engages the abs and keeps them locked into position. Now this is really important for all the exercises that we're going to do today. I'll be saying bum tight on the plank, and I'll be saying ribs down on pretty much everything. And that ribs down is very, very important. Otherwise, you're not working your abs, you're just stressing your lower back. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. What we're going to do now is just going to run through the basic setup position of the crunchie. The crunchie has been much maligned recently, as well as the sit-up, as being an exercise that is basically bad for your back because it's just training spinal flexion over and over again. And spinal flexion means bending your lower back, bending your lower spine. And they're right. Doing it incorrectly is a poor ab exercise. What we're going to do is lock the abs into position and just cause a nice deep muscle burn. So the first thing Zoe's going to do is just so we can sort of see, she's going to take her hands up towards her head a little bit, and you can see right now, and I'm going to come down a little bit lower, that there's quite a big arch under Zoe's lower back, okay? If you just move that arm back a little bit so we can see. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flatten out that by pushing that curve in your lower back hard into the floor. And just that, you can feel your abs lock quite tightly, can't you?
Yeah.
So, first thing we're going to do on a crunchie is engage your lower back into the floor, push that down.
It can be easier if you just hike your bum off the floor to start with.
Yeah, push the lower back into the floor, hands at the side of your head for this first variation of the basic crunchie. And you're going to come up, Jim the dog is helping. You're going to come up for a crunch. You're going to hold this top position for a count of 2, and you're going to lower, but you're not going to lift your ribs, and you're not going to lift your lower back off the floor. Do that again, please, Zoe. Up, and you can feel your lower back hard into the ground here. Down, and your lower back does not come off the floor. That's important. Do that again. And down, and rest. That's the perfect crunch. And the washing machine is running in the background there, which...
Perfect.
Just ideal.
This is real life.
Real life, people. So the next exercise is the plank. Also another exercise that is commonly done incorrectly. So Zoe's going to get into her basic plank position, elbows on the floor, and you notice her elbows are directly under her shoulders. And then she's going to come up into her feet. Two things are going to happen here. First, she's going to push her head forward a bit more. There we go. And that drops the hips down, and she's going to squeeze her bum muscles tight and ribs are down. So that there is a good plank position. Zoe's now going to get into a bad plank position by dropping down. So you can see that curve in the lower back again. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that either, bum in the air. We also don't want to see the head floated back towards there. That's not a plank either. So there's a good plank position. Tuck the bum, ribs down, head pushed forward. And the other thing, the really cool little trick here is I'm also going to ask Zoe to make fists, squeeze her hands hard, and drag her elbows down towards. How much harder is that?
Much.
Infinitely harder. And relax there. So when I said to Zoe to drag her elbows down, it's in the movement, if you can demonstrate, of she's trying to drag her elbows down, but this is important, they don't actually move. You're just applying pressure to the floor and dragging the elbows down. That really locks the abs in so much harder. Anything to add to that, Zoe?
Nope.
There. So now we're going to start the workout properly. We're going to do a crunchy progression. So as we go through it, we're going to go through various versions of a crunchie to make it harder. You don't have to do this. You can stick with the regular crunchie because just these two exercises, a properly performed crunchie and a properly performed plank, is just a great abdominal workout. But we're going to progress the crunchie just to make things more challenging for Zoe. So the workout starts now. Exercise 1, crunchies. Feet flat on the floor, flatten out the lower back, and Zoe's going to do 10 reps. Pause at the top and squeeze. And on the way down, she's going to make sure she doesn't lift her ribs. So you can see the range of motion is actually very small. Zoe's shoulders are coming off the floor maybe 3-4 inches. That's good. Her chin staying tucked, and she's always looking down towards her knees.
That's 10.
That's 10. We're going to roll straight into plank. You can do more than 10 reps. You can do 100 reps if you want to. So, good plank position. So he's going to drop the hips, push her head forward, slide the elbows down, and I'm going to count to 20.
That's already 5, by the way.
No, they don't count. That's 10. Make fists, squeeze your bum, ribs down. Last 3. And then back to crunchies. We're going to use variation number 1 now, which is we're going to get Zoe's legs up at right angles. Okay, so drop your legs. We want a right angle bend in your knees.
Oh, sorry.
That's it. Good. So thighs are vertical and shins are horizontal. Flatten out the lower back. Good. Keep that engaged always. 10 crunchies. The idea is try to keep your legs poker still so they don't move at all. And again, always checking that your lower back is constantly engaged into the floor. Pause at the top, squeeze your abs. When she's done 10, she's going to transition straight to plank. And then the time starts when she's in position and I can see that her butt is squeezed, her fists are squeezed, and she's pulling down with her elbows. Probably need to come up just a tiny bit. There we go. Good. The washing machine on a spin cycle now. So the timing of this actually couldn't be any better. Another 5 seconds. That's good. And relax there. Onto your back for crunchy progression number 3.
Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
What sort of break might you need in between sets?
None at all. Keep going until you die. Rest as you need. Zoe doesn't need rest. She's a machine.
Oh my God.
Really hard, isn't it? Really
Right,
hard.
what's this next one?
Okay, legs vertical. So you're going to take your legs to vertical, or nearly so. Zoe's got good flexibility, so she can. But if your legs were a bit more bent, that's fine.
That's hamstring flexibility.
That's hamstring flexibility.
I'm trying to keep you talking so I can have a breather.
Okay, so legs straight, engage your lower back.
Yeah.
That's good. 10 crunchies. Pause at the top for a 2 count. Or a toucan. Or a Labrador.
If I can, you can.
And again, you're trying to keep the legs straight. Also, on that lie back, you're trying not to lift your ribs. That's better. Keep your lower back engaged on the floor.
In terms of keeping your ribs down, if you imagine what you'd do if someone was going to punch you in the stomach, you'd brace first. That's kind of the same thing.
For a small extra charge, I can punch people in the stomach.
And I haven't been counting. Is that 8?
That's maybe 3.
One last one.
No, not enough. And straight into plank. So, how are you finding this so far? It's quite challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, the plank's challenging on my shoulders as much as anything else.
Good.
And tip that you didn't mention to people, distance between your feet when you're having a plank.
Oh yeah.
You can have your feet sort of hip width apart for stability.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your feet dead close together. Any other tips?
Yeah, get on with this.
I'm not surprised you got me to do this one.
What? Okay, so you back, there we go, that's better. Squeeze your butt, ribs down, make fists, elbows down. Time starts soon.
That's 8 seconds.
No,
I hate you.
not by my count. Constantly try to slide the elbows down, constantly squeezing your butt as hard as you can. You can see Zoe starting to shake now, and she's got 19 seconds left. Straight onto your back. Crunchy variation number 2. So we're going to start back with vertical legs. Engage your lower back into the floor.
Yeah.
And then we're going to lower one leg down as far as you can, but not at the cost of your lower back lifting off the floor. So Zoe's got it about 45 degrees, which is probably a good start position for most people. And you're going to do 5 crunches in this position. Or Zoe is. You guys, well, you can do a whole lot more if you want to. Or fewer. And on the 5th one, she's going to hold this top crunch. Then she's going to change legs. That'll maintain her lower back on the floor, so it won't lift. And she's got 5 more now. And this will really be starting to burn about now, even with just 5 reps on each side. Important, lower back stays on the floor. That's good. Transition straight to plank. There are plank variations, which we're not going to cover today, but we'll have another session at some point. Zoe's going to go straight into it.
Not right now.
So, bum squeezed, fists, head pushed forward. Now try to slide the elbows down. They don't actually move. You're just engaging those muscles. That's 5.
That was not 5.
Shut up. That's 6.
3.
Last 5 seconds.
2.
No. Hold it. Time. Good. Okay, last variation on the crunchies. Okay, straight into your back. Really hard, isn't it?
This is hard.
It's really hard. Simple little exercises, but done well for a short amount of time makes a big difference. Okay, here we go. Legs up.
I can't remember what this one is.
I'll talk you through it. So legs to vertical.
Yeah.
Okay, crunch up. And this time, hands by your side, fingers pointed down. What you're going to do now, lower back is strongly engaged on the floor. You're going to lower both legs as low as you can.
Until my back.
Until your lower back wants to come off the floor. And you're going to stop there.
About there.
And we're going to do this for a 20-second hold. So this will eventually become a hollow body hold, or dish, as it's sometimes called, which is about as tough an ab exercise as you can get. Zoe's not there yet, but once the feet become about 3 inches off the floor, then she's there. That's 20 seconds, straight into plank, no rest. A bit of rest, and straight into plank.
And actually, obviously it's hard on my abs, but I'm feeling it in my lower back.
You will, they're working so hard.
And not like back pain, but muscle.
Yeah. There's Max in the background, okay. So, this is the last 30-second hold on plank. Up a bit. Okay, butt up a bit, tiny bit. There we go, good. Slide those elbows down, make fists. That's 5. Squeeze the bum. That's 10. Last one's for 30 seconds.
Oh, sod off.
15, you're halfway. Make fists, slide the elbows down, ribs down, butt tight. Squeeze that butt. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Yeah. Like, not easy, people. Not easy. Say thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If you could do all of those exercises, moving straight from one to the other, that would be a total of 5 minutes of work. Whew, I needed those little breaks in between. And just really try and concentrate on where your body is. Is your lower back pressed flat into the floor? Are your ribs down? Because those small adjustments turn it into a really, really effective exercise. Tack it on to the beginning or end of any of your workouts. And remember that the reason you need your core to be strong is that it is the foundation for moving your arms and legs around, okay? So if you are looking at pushing your strength, if you are looking at pushing your running fitness, anything like that, the more solid you can keep your core, the more stable a foundation you have for literally everything else. And particularly with strength training, it is really important that as your weights go up, your core is ready to take that extra load.
That's actually a really good point. Powerlifters of the world, please listen to this. Doing heavy squats and deadlifts is actually not enough to have a good, strong core. You need to do a little bit of extra work as well.
Yeah, and also important for everybody to protect their lower back, just daily life, sitting at desks. And I'm done.
Yeah, 5 minutes. You can do this a couple of times in the day just to keep things ticking over. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.